All right, so this is the KNAFS Co Lander. Is that right? Lander. Uh, New modern folder from Ben Peterson. He designed the Wee Knives Banter, and then the Civivi Mini Banter, and I think he's got some different versions of the Banter coming. But this is his first knife that actually has his company name on it, which is the KNAFS Co. You can see there's his "What is up, guys" stamp there. It is D2 steel. I went for the all black because apparently this has a system called his like quick change scale system or whatever, where I guess all you have to do is undo 4 screws, these 4 here, and you don't have to mess with the pivot or anything, and you can change the scales. So I did buy a set of scales for him right here. It's got a description on how to do it, pretty much. So I did buy a set of scales for this knife. I went with these pink ones because I like colors, and I thought it would be kind of cool to have a pink knife. I'm not necessarily all about the all blacked out everything like some people are. I like the black blade, but I wanted some colorful handles. So I went ahead and ordered these pink ones from him on his website. So we're going to see how easy these are to change, I guess. I'm going to do it right here on the camera. I'm going to guess that those handle things are like a T6 or something, because it's what most of them are. Let's try this one, see if this one's big enough. Too big. Okay, so the smallest one on here, which I don't know what that is, T6 or T5. It's probably a T6. Alright, let's see here. Okay, there we go. So, okay, got it broke loose. Broke loose. Okay, that one came unscrewed a lot easier than the other ones. That's interesting. Alright, now this side. Okay. And the pocket screw or pocket clip ones. I hope I'm turning the screw and not stripping it. Okay, I think I am turning it. It's kind of hard to tell since I'm trying to film and do this at the same time. But it appears like I'm doing this correctly, so we should be good. I'm going to try to keep this in camera frame, but I might go out of camera frame because I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing here. So excuse me if I go off frame here. I wonder if the pocket screws are like specific. Always a good idea to have like a little container to keep all your screws and stuff in. In fact, maybe I should leave those in the pocket clip. Well, now it's a little too late to do that, I think. Yeah. Alright, well, I think I probably should have left them in the pocket clip, but that's okay. Alright, let's finish this side. Here. Not quite. Okay, so that should just pop off then, I guess, without having to undo the pivot according to the description of this. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. It just pops right off without having to undo the pivot, so that's really cool. I like that. Okay, so this side here, if I was Nick Shabazz, I would clean this, but I don't really care that much. I'm just going to go ahead and immediately get this other side set up here. Some Loctite paste stuff. Try to get these Loctited. Okay. These are very small screws, so you have to kind of be careful with them. I'll have to clean off the scales then, because they're definitely going to end up with Loctite on them. That should be tight enough to hold it in place. Let's grab the other one. The pocket clip screws are slightly different. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. These ones down here are the pocket clip screws. That's the scale screw. So they are slightly different, so you can't like interchange them or whatever. So that's good to know. Put a Loctite on there. Put it in the hole. Try to get it tight enough that it won't fall out. Okay. And now the fun of the pocket clip. My arm's kind of in the way, but there's not really much I can do about that. Yeah, the best way to do this is going to be to try to get them set up in the holes immediately here. Should have probably have Loctited them ahead of time, but you know, it's fine. What I can do is I can just do like this. Yeah, so I think that's what I'll do. Let's see if I can get the other one in here too. See if I'm as lucky with this one. Let's do it over the plastic thing in case I miss. Okay, kind of, almost. Let's see if I can get this. That's the opposite way I need it to be. Yep, and that's why I did it over the plastic container. Smart. Let's try this again. Missed. This might take a little bit. I would suggest leaving the pocket clip screws in the pocket clip holes. Seems like the best way to do this. I'm just going to scrape some Loctite off the top of my Loctite glue stick type thing over here. That should be good, I think, probably. Worst comes to worst, I gotta tighten some screws down. It's not a big deal. Alright, it's lined up here. Alright, so these screws should be lined up, I think. Oh, hold on. I'm an idiot. I need to tighten the one underneath here first. That's important. So you gotta do that first. So don't make the mistake that I did. You gotta do the this one here first because it's covered by the pocket clip then. So I get that one snug, tight, and everything. Now let's put this one in. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a longer video, guys. I didn't know how long this is going to take. It's fine. Yeah, I just pretty much wanted to show this knife and then see if it's really that easy to change out the scales, and it looks like it is. So now I'm just going to do this side quick. Well, not quick. Well, it'll be quicker than the other side because I don't have a pocket clip to worry about. But yeah, since I don't have a pocket clip to worry about, it should be faster. But we shall see. There's like a little cover for where the pocket clip goes on this side if you were to be left-handed. So I won't do this one yet. And then this one. And then the scale should just pop off. Yep. It's really, really cool. I like that idea and not having to mess with the pivot, because that's always like the worst part of trying to replace scales. I did just order new scales for my Para 3, so I'm gonna have to go through that with that soon. But yeah, that's like the worst part of changing handle scales, is having to deal with the pivot. So him designing it so that you can replace the scales without having to mess with the pivot's really cool for people who like to customize their knives. And I'm pretty sure he has like an open thing on like how to do these scales. So literally any company that has like a, I don't know, a CNC machine or a maybe even like a 3D printer could probably make scales for this. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how long I'm going to worry about it. This knife is like, I think it was like $55. I think it was under $60. So it is kind of more of like a budget knife. I think that was kind of what he wanted it to be, was be a budget knife that, you know, everybody can afford to buy and everything. That way, you know, it's a good knife that was cheap and everything. Okay, those are tight. I got a bug over here. I don't know where he came from. You can see I put way too much Loctite on that, but that's okay. I'll clean it up at some point. I'm done here. I got this like pocket clip plate here. So I'll put that in place and then worry about the screws. Okay. So let's see here. This would be easier if you had like a magnetic Torx thing. I don't, so it's a little complicated for me. So I need to like try to get them in my fingers and use my fingers kind of. And I have big fingers, so it's a little awkward. Again, sorry for my hand and arm being in front of the camera so much. I'm trying to film this as best I can on a tripod here. Once again, way too much Loctite, but I'll clean it up. That's why you keep some isopropyl alcohol around. Yes, that should be good now. All these on this side are tight. Ones on this side should be tight. Pocket clip's tight. Alright, so that should be good. So this is the KNAFS lander, and I just swapped the black scales for these pink ones. Now the pink on the camera doesn't look quite as pink as it looks in real life, just by the nature of how cameras kind of work, unfortunately. Let me see if I turn off this light. Yeah, that's closer to the pink that it actually is, this kind of darker, like neon pink almost. But with the light on, it's obviously much easier to show everything, and it looks better and everything, so I like to have the light on. But yeah, pretty cool design. I like the idea of the quick swap handle scales, is what he's calling them. Like I said, this knife is in D2. I think it's running on some ball bearings because, as you see, it's very smooth, just like the Wee Banter is. It's a liner lock. I'm not necessarily super all about liner locks. It's kind of a thinner liner. If you really squeeze with your hand, like really hard, the liner lock will move a little bit because some of the meat on your finger will get in between like here and here and start to push the liner over a little bit. So the blade will rock back and forth just the slightest amount, which is why I'm not necessarily crazy about liner locks, but it's fine. And if you hold the knife like this, it's obviously not a problem. When you're doing like hard work where you're holding the knife like this, that's the only time that the blade kind of rocks back and forth, because you're, like I said, some of the meat of your fingers getting in there and it's just very slightly moving the liner lock. That can be addressed with, you know, certain liner lock designs and everything. But That is a problem that you do get with liner locks occasionally. Not a big deal, you know. I use slip joint knives, so obviously I'm not really that used to having a lock anyway. And if you're using your knife correctly, the lock's not necessarily that important. Anyway, so cool little knife. Definitely like the fast change handle scales. That was very easy to do. Whereas when I'm going to change the handle scales on my pair 3, that's going to be difficult. I will not film that because that'll take a little while. But this was very easy. So, you know, if you're looking for a easily customizable, pretty affordable pocket knife with some decent blade steel, check out this KNAFS Lander. You can get it on his website, which is like KNAFS Co. It's definitely on this piece of paper, almost certainly, right? Maybe it's not. Oh, not KNAFS.com. So I think you can get it over there. You can get all the handle scales over there. That's where I got the pink ones. You can also get it on pretty much every other big retailer, Blade HQ, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, places like that. The only available colors stock are the black and with a black blade and blue with a non-coated blade. I wanted the black blade, but I didn't necessarily want the black handles. So this is the decision that I made. Pretty happy with it. I think it looks good with the pink handle scales, and I definitely, like I've said like 5 times now, I definitely think it's a cool idea to have these quick change handle scales. It makes it very easy to customize your knife. But yeah, so that's it for today on the KNAFS Lander, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a good day.